Hello, all. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about a sector which is impacted by COVID to a great extent. That is the automobile sector. Now, we saw that in the month of April, there was a complete lockdown in entire India, and that's why the sales were zero for most of the companies. In the month of May, there was some slight opening up of the economy and a lockdown in certain areas which were in green zones opened up. But that resulted in some sort of growth over April. In the month of June, many of the areas or the regions got opened up, and we saw good growth on a month-on-month basis. But now we know that the month of June saw that kind of a growth to the tune of about 100 to 200% on a month-on-month basis, because it was the pent-up demand which was accumulated because of absence of business in the month of April as well as in May. We saw very strong growth in all of the automobile sectors except the commercial vehicles. Now, in the month of July and August, we know that seasonally these are weak months because of monsoon. So we may see a slight growth over June and a degrowth on a YOY basis to the tune of about 30 to 40% at least. So September onwards, I think there will be a good growth based on the festivities, and it will continue at least till the month of November. So in December, we know that it's again a weak month, and again the Q4, that is Jan to March, is a strong quarter. So there will be some sort of revival in the automobile growth in that period. So on and on, I think that for the full year, we may see a decline close to about 30 to 40% on a YOY basis over FY19, which was also a weak year. But because of COVID, almost one quarter has got washed out, and that's the result. We think that we can see that kind of a growth. Now, the Society of Indian Automobile Manufacturers (SIAM) have mentioned that they may see degrowth close to about 50 odd percent. But we think that with some sort of recovery seen in the Q3 in the festive season as well as Q4, and some launches coming from various quarters like the two wheelers as well as passenger vehicles, we may see some sort of revival. But on as compared to FY18, where SCM is saying that they may see about 40 to 50% degrowth, we believe that we may see about 30 to 40% kind of degrowth. So on and on, we see a lackluster year this year, but we see see some pockets where there can be some bucking of the trend. These pockets, we believe, will be mainly based on the rural economy, like the two wheelers and the tractors. Also, some light commercial vehicles may see some sort of growth because of the transportation of essential goods and commodities, which were still there in the lockdown period. So based on that, I think we because of the fear still there in the customer's mind, they are not stepping out and buying vehicles as of now to the extent what we had seen in the last couple of years. Now, talking from the production point of view, most of the companies had started their manufacturing in the month of May, and they were going full on in the month of June. But certain cases, certain factories, there was again a rise of COVID cases, and that's why they had to shut down their production again. So there was an on and off kind of a scenario over there, and that resulted in some sort of employee losses. Also, we I would like to mention over here that there was certain amount of labor movement to their villages, which we have seen over the past couple of months, and that's why there was a shortage of employees as well as labor in their factories. So there was a production cut, and that's the reason why they are not able to cater to the demand and supply to the dealerships. Our talks with the dealerships actually gave us that kind of an indication that the demand is there, especially on the tractor side. The demand is quite robust, but certain companies are unable to satisfy that demand because of the production issues that they are facing at their end as well as their vendors' ends. So I think that that is another inhibitor for the growth of the automobile industry. So now what we expect is that the government to intervene up to some extent and provide some relief on the GST front of up to about 10% at least on all the automobile industry sub segments, and implementation of the long awaited scrappage policy for the commercial vehicles, which may see some sort of movement or reversal in the trend for that particular sector. And the government has already talked about some certain stimulus for the industry going forward. Hopefully that thing comes up sooner or later, and we think that these drivers would be definitely helping the automobile industry to come out of the lull that they are facing at this point in time. Thank you.